Hey there! So, welcome to Module 3, where we will read the end of the ancient Greek tragedy Oedipus Rex by Sophocles. In this module, the reading begins with Jocasta arriving with offerings for Apollo when a messenger arrives. Oedipus speaks with this messenger who has news about Polybus, whom Oedipus thinks is his real father. The messenger reports that Polybus has died. This same messenger, however, informs Oedipus that Polybus is really his adopted father. So, the oracle that Oedipus fears, this fortune that he received from the temple of Apollo that told him that he would kill his father and marry his mother, this oracle that he fears is not necessarily disproven by the fact that Polybus died because he wasn't his real father anyway. Now, when Jocasta hears this news from the messenger, she begs Oedipus to not investigate any further. It seems that she knows something that he, so far, does not. So, while Oedipus believes that Jocasta's just upset because maybe he was born a slave or, someone of lower rank, not a prince, um, she's really grappling with the truth of who he is. So, for this module, after you finish reading the play, read through the instructor's material. Also, follow the link on the features of Greek tragedy. There, you'll learn about the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle and how he defines tragedy. He says that tragedy must have a plot that shows a discovery and a reversal of fortune, what is called peripeteia in the ancient Greek. Now, Aristotle writes that this reversal of fortune should happen to someone who is noble that we can look up to, so that when we see them suffering, we as the audience experience pity and fear. And I think a good example of this is when we see either in a film, show, or even on the news, the story of like a needless death, or what I always think of if I think of what is a tragedy, I think of footage from 9/11 of watching those towers fall. There's actually a Netflix feature that has excellent footage of that horrible day, and I still remember it. And I felt horrified and scared when I saw those towers fall because that's a lot of destruction. It's a terrifying event. And at the same time, I felt so terribly sad. There were people suffering in there. So there's that experience of fear and pity. Those are the two emotions that, according to Aristotle, make a tragedy, is that the audience experiences those feelings. Aristotle also argues that tragedy produces a catharsis of these emotions. Now, catharsis is another ancient Greek word that means purgation. A funny side note, catharsis is also the same word you would use in ancient Greece to talk about a laxative. But look at what the word means, a purgation. It's a letting out of something that was building up. And so Aristotle states that watching a tragedy can cause us to experience this purgation of our emotions of pity and fear. We cry when we see a tragic film or play. And the word cathartic is now in our American vocabulary, and that comes from this ancient Greek word. If something is cathartic, that means that it gives us a sense of relief to express strong emotions. Furthermore, the figure of King Oedipus is a tragic hero. He is someone who is noble and admirable. He's the king. He solved the Sphinx riddle. He wants to rid Thebes of the plague. But he experiences a reversal of fortune, which is what makes him a tragic hero. The tragic hero's demise comes about because of a flaw or an error. The word in ancient Greek that Aristotle uses is hamartia, which means a mistake or something that misses the mark. So, what do you think is this mistake, this tragic mistake that Oedipus makes here? What do you think is this hamartia? So, for this module, after reading the instructor's material and the features of Greek tragedy, turn to the discussion questions. Then, for this model, there is a quiz on the play. Take the practice quiz to prepare yourself, and then take the graded quiz. I look forward to reading your thoughts on the discussion board, and I'll see you there.